From ancient times, the Asia-Pacific region had been a gifted land where human beings and wondrous nature coexisted peacefully. With the blessings of nature, we enjoyed prosperity and peace, as well as developed civilizations for abundant life. It is the land where the Asia-Pacific people's special pride dwells. Industrial development changed the climate and consequently drove the Asia-Pacific people's life in great danger. Suddenly, farmlands and houses badly hit by rising water, and people were bewildered by the unexpected disaster. People were helpless. There were no countermeasures. Even if there was, it was not enough to prevent ensuing issues, and accrued damage already ran out of control. During the past 30 years, 38% of natural disaster in the world occurred in the Asia-Pacific region. On account of that, 54% of deaths and 90% of natural disaster victims of the whole world had caused in the Asia-Pacific region. Under the circumstances, the Asia-Pacific region has the stigma of being the most vulnerable land to natural catastrophe in the world. Natural disaster will continue to increase. The Asia-Pacific region is in particular concerned by cause of extensive increase in damage, such as property loss and arises of victims. Natural catastrophe will not patiently wait for us to be prepared. Even at this moment, the lives and properties of some people in the region might be imperiled by impending natural disasters. This is the reason why the NEMA Technical Assistance Group of the Republic of Korea decided to plan a highly applicable disaster reduction project. This is the beginning. As drawn from the 4th AMCDRR, the first step for the NEMA TAG is to share the accumulated risk management skills and climate change-related technology with Asia-Pacific countries. In the 21st century, severe global climate change accelerates glacial melting, and it becomes the cause of disasters. Natural disaster due to glacial melting derives great fear for us. This is the Himalayas, also known as the Third Pole, along with the South Pole and North Pole.
히말라야 지역에 있는 빙하의 수는 자그마치 15,000개 이릅니다. 극지방을 제외하고는 히말라야 지역이 세계에서 빙하가 가장 많은 지역입니다.
At the end of Glacier Point, there is a moraine dam which forms a lake by impounding melted water from glacier. As a result of climate change, warm weather increases the water level of Glacial Lake, and when the level exceeds the critical point, the moraine dam will collapse. In 1985, the dam of Dig Cho, Glacial Lake in Nepal, burst out cascading 2,000 cubic meters of water per second and caused extensive damage in downstream areas. Also in 1994, a glacial lake, Luge Cho in Bhutan, collapsed and rapid rise of 2 meters in height swept away downstream area 200 kilometers away from the lake. The effects of climate change are now more noticeable, and the threat of glacial flood rises alarmingly. The EC Mode reports that at least 20 glacial lakes in Nepal face the risk of collapse and are exposed to glacial flood. In October 2011, along the Mekong River, 745 people killed and 836 people were left homeless by the flood. As a consequence of the Great Flood, 1/3 of Thailand was inundated. Up until 2015, by increasing of 20 million people, the population of this area is expected to reach 100 million. Grand-scale flood in the future will bring massive damage and devastation that is not even comparable to the case seen in 2011. Cyclones, torrential rain, and tsunamis left the South Pacific region in complete turmoil. Climate change made cyclones even stronger in a greater scale.
지구온난화의 영향으로 높아진 해수면과 강력해진 사이클론의 만남은 특히 도서로 구성되어진 남태평양 국가에 지금까지는 비교할 수 없을 정도의 규모의 인명피해와 재산피해를 발생시킬 것입니다. 글로브, 플러드, 사이클론 이런 위험천만한 재난에 대한 대응을 이제는 더 이상 미뤄서는 안 됩니다.
A most desirable case is to make provisions before the occurrence of natural disaster. But in reality, we tend to focus more on post-disaster care and recovery. However, we must remember, no matter how hard we endeavor to restore, we can never bring back the lives of those lost. Although unimportant aspects of pre-disaster mitigation deals with human lives, property damage is also considerable. The recovery expense for properties is usually much higher than recorded loss, and it is impossible to reinstate them into original states. For this reason, the NEMA tag devises schemes to prepare for natural calamities such as GLOF, flood, and cyclone. Various organizations implemented DRR projects to support developing countries, but those projects didn't fulfill the expectations. In addition, there are too many places that need supports, but the resources are limited. It is essential to promote projects that are superior in both efficiency and substantiality. In Nepal, 3 glacial lakes, Inja Cho, Tulagi, and Cho Rolpa are suspected for possible collapse. Especially Cho Rolpa is the most dangerous one that is likely to burst. In Cho Rolpa, it is necessary to install improved early warning system and dam safety monitoring system. The installment of advanced monitoring and early warning systems help residents near the downstream of the glacial lake of Cho Rolpa to free from a feeling of insecurity. A wireless internet network used for the early warning system will also contribute to local community and improve levels of communication, education, and leisure activities. Contrasted with the other pre-disaster mitigation projects, if residents experience direct benefits from the system, they will actively participate and the project will be continuously maintained. The conventional flood hazard map has a scale of 50 kilometers by 50 kilometers in spatial resolution. The advanced flood hazard map with 90 meter by 90 meter in spatial resolution can be made on remote sensing data, in situ survey, and flood inventory, and it can classify hazardous areas more accurately. The Mekong River Valley is an actively developing area as a result of increasing population. It is important to identify flood hazard area in advance and rule them out from development. It will eventually reduce flood damage. At the current, Disaster Information Bureau in the developing countries collects all the cyclone disaster information via phone calls all over the country and note them down on a whiteboard. It causes difficulty in arranging the disaster information systematically and immediate respond to catastrophe. The new Disaster Information Bureau has computer-based system. The information is promptly sorted through the computer, and the large screen monitor compare disastrous situation by region in real time. Stored recovery resources in advance will be used to recover damaged area rapidly, and the accumulated information will be applied for pre-disaster mitigation. upgrading the level of disaster prevention system will reduce both the effects of hazard and natural calamity of the South Pacific region. Since the new Disaster Control Center is equipped with an emergency solar generator, there is no need to be concerned about suspending operation due to an electrical outage. In order to escalate the efficiency and sustainability of the project, the NEMA tag suggests the following. The distance education and interact with local community should be continued until the residents are able to manage the system independently. We should arrange and operate a cyber learning network between Korea and developing countries, which can also be used to nurture local experts for natural disaster prevention. It is an undeniable fact that climate change significantly increases various natural disasters.
자연재해의 규모는 점점 더 대규모화되고 있고 그 빈도는 증가하고 있습니다. 어쩌면 지금 우리는 번영의 길로 가느냐 아니면 파멸의 길로 가느냐 하는 갈림길에 서 있는지도 모릅니다. 우리 인류가 번영을 원한다면 우리 모두, 즉 개도국가 선진국이 꼭 해야 할 선택이 있습니다.
The best choice for humanity is a close cooperation between advanced and developing countries. The NEMA tag, Republic of Korea, will serve as a leading role for the global cooperation under the purpose for natural disaster reduction.